So in station 4, we're asked to look at the hand, and there's a lot of different aspects of the hand that we'll cover. Firstly, we've got 27 total bones in the hand, made up of 8 carpal bones, and the carpal bones are these short bones found here in the wrist. There's 5 metacarpals, which are the long bones in your hand, and then 14 phalanges, and your phalanges are your digits or fingers. So first of all, we'll start by looking at at why there's so many bones. Well, there's many reasons for why there's so many bones, but probably the primary role is to allow for all the fine movements. So when we move our hand any number of ways, it really does do a lot of little fine things, and it's all these small bones that allows us such great movement. So a lot of people will become confused with looking for technical names for a lot of the names of these bones. For example, your metacarpals. Distinguishing the difference between the metacarpals is as simple as metacarpal 1 being the big, the thumb, which is also called the pollex. So this would be metacarpal 1, metacarpal 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's how we distinguish between them. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count. Same with the phalanges. They're counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, again from the pollex or thumb side. But notice in a phalange there's different sections. So in here we've got 2 sections, here we've got 1, 2, 3 sections, 1, 2, 3 and all the remaining digits. So one of the major differences between the pollex and the rest of the phalanges is that the pollex only contains 2 phalanges, whereas all the other digits contain 3 sections to a phalange. So the closest phalange to the metacarpals there is called the proximal phalange, and the furthest is called the distal phalange. Again over here, but we've got a third piece, so that's called the proximal phalange. It's called the middle phalange, and this is the distal phalange. So another difference between the thumb and the remaining digits is that it does not contain the middle phalange. So you must always have a most proximal or a closest, and you must always have a distal, but you don't always have to have the middle. Now, one of the more confusing parts to this is what are the names of all these individual bones? And there's 8 lying through this section here. So there's 1 there, 2 there, 3, there's this 4th piece is on top of that, so it's a separate bone. Got 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. So there's like 2 rows of 4, 2 distinct rows of 4. So an easy way to describe that is if just drawing a simple picture or a free body diagram of what these rows of 4 look like. And I'll put the rest of the hand in. There's your thumb, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's just a real simple picture of what this would look like. These would be your metacarpals, your phalanges across, continuing off the rest of the page. If we go across the bottom and label it, there's a rhyme. It's called Sally left the party to take Kathy home. So this would be Sally left the party to take Kathy home. And this forms the first letter of each of these bones. So the S for Sally stands for scaphoid. The L for left stands for lunate. The T stands for triquetral. The P stands for pisiform. And these are the 2 that sort of the pisiform kind of piggybacks on top of the triquetral. The T's in the front row refer to the trapezium and the trapezoid in alphabetical order if you get confused. The capitate is the biggest carpal bone in the front row, and of course the hamate is the H which finishes off this 8. So Sally left the party to take Kathy home, standing for scaphoid, lunate, triquetral, pisiform, trapezium, trapezoid, capitate, hamate. So if we go back to the hand, we see these 2 distinct rows of 4, scaphoid, lunate, triquetral, pisiform, trapezium, trapezoid, capitate, hamate.